What going on, everybody? Welcome to Buckles Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Uh, Come on in, everybody. Come on in. We got a little conversation today. I got a little time today. I got time. On a Friday night. Y'all ain't doing nothing anyway. Bring your butts in here. Friday. Time to get it crunk. Let's get crunk in this thing. What time is it? It's 5:02 time, baby. 813 time. We got Sal in the building. Big strong Sal. What's up, man? Styles in the building. Brent. You know what I'm saying? Josh. Lucas Pettis, man. Robert Jr. 2005 in the building. You know what I'm saying? You got Mopar Buck. You know what I'm saying? Jay Cruz. What's up, man? Where you been at, Jay? Damn, boy, you been hiding, boy. Marlon in the building. Cameron Hodges, man. What's up, man? Long time no. I ain't talked to Cameron in a minute. And Jay Cruz, man. You been hiding or something? What you been working? Yes, I guess you've been working, man. You've been missing out on action, bro. You missed out on a lot of good content, man. Real hardcore content. Yeah, Cam Ward. Yeah, he nice, man. Yeah, we're okay. I got you. I respect, Jay. Respect. Shout out to Jay, man. Working real hard, man. Young brother working real hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay, man, for working real hard, man. Keep working, dog. You know what I'm saying? Keep elevating yourself. Oh yeah, Cam Ward is a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? Cam Hodges working hard too, man. Shout out to Cam, man. Working hard, man. Cameron Hodges working real hard, man. I appreciate brothers working real hard and doing their thing, man. You know, it's not easy out here, man. Rent going up, inflation just got everything going up, man. But Marlon, what's up, man? You been playing that Call of Duty, man? Black Ops. Call of Duty, man. You been on that Call of Duty? I ain't been on nothing really. So yeah. What now? You got the Bucs, the Eagles coming to town. You know what I'm saying? And what the Bucs gonna do? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like we gotta get real. We gotta keep staying real over here. We gotta keep it real over here in Buckles Locker. We gotta keep it 100. 100. You know what I'm saying? 1,000. Wow. Y'all know how I get down over here, man. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm not in it for the views and clicks. I'm in it to keep it real and honest with you guys. I don't care about no feelings and trying to please people and stuff like that. But y'all see the topics today. You know what I'm saying? Eagles coming to town, man, and Bucs improvements, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bucs got to improve. Now I know it's week 4 now. I mean, this is the first quarter of the season. Come on now, we need to make some progress. And we going the wrong way. We started out good with the Commanders, great win, easy win. Well, the Commanders 2-1. Ain't that crazy, right? So the Commanders might not be bad at all. The Commanders quarterback, Jalen Daniels, man, he kind of remind me, he got this like CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson thing going, you know, and as of right now, he's playing better than Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's improving every week. You feel me? Bo Nix outplayed Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? That's not good, folks. You got quarterbacks as rookies outplaying our starter. You know what I'm saying? That's not good, man. I need Baker Mayfield to step up. He got it in him. He just got to be consistent. But you can't have rookies outplaying you, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield cannot have rookies outplaying him. And just as much as we give him credit for playing well, we have to call out when he's not playing well too. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. Keep it 100, man. Getting outplayed by Bo Nix and getting outplayed right now by Jalen Daniels. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's a reason why Baker Mayfield is getting $30 million. He's not getting the $40 million. He's not that type of quarterback. But remember, That's good that he's making $30 million because we can do some things, but we still kind of in salary cap weird limbo land. So hopefully the Bucs figure it out, especially as we get into this conversation tonight about the pass rush and the running game and stuff like that. We're gonna go over these stats and everything. Yeah, it could be Rush. We could have Trevor Lawrence. That contract is terrible. Trevor Lawrence got a terrible contract. Shout out to Baker Mayfield for taking that $30 million because it could have been worse for us too. The Jaguars gave Trevor Lawrence 50-something million, all that money guaranteed, and he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything to deserve that contract. And the Jaguars gave it to him. And now, me and my partner was talking about this the other day. Is Trevor Lawrence a starter now? He don't even look like a starter. Let's keep it 100. Trevor Lawrence don't even look like a starter right now. He getting paid. He look like Daniel Jones. And I never was a hoorah fan of Trevor Lawrence because I didn't like his makeup, his mental makeup. And the Jaguars paid him based on potential, not what he has done. They paid him based on potential. You never do that. He's never been highly productive. And they paid him anyway. And now Doug Peterson might get fired because of Trevor Lawrence not playing well. And then you got his OC, Press Taylor, looks terrible too. So I don't know. Doug Peterson heading down that Frank Wright path, you know. Let's get back to the Bucs. Now, 2-1 Eagles, 2-1 Bucs. I gotta say this first. Folks. This is a pivotal game for the Bucs. This is a pivot point for the Bucs. Every quarter has a pivot point, right? There's 4 quarters in the season. There's 4 games, first quarter, 4 games, second quarter, 4 games, third quarter, 5 games, fourth quarter. Every quarter has a pivotal point that each team across the NFL must do something to go to the next phase of the season. Right now, this is phase 1. The Bucs are in phase 1 right now, first quarter of the season, and mixed results. You know, this is mixed results. Like, we was riding high, beating the Lions, even though we didn't play well offensively, but the defense played a hell of a game. And everybody was riding high, and you know, we power rankings, we in the top 10, and blah 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 blah. Right? Everybody was kind of riding the high horse. Everybody kind of feeling themselves, which I understand because Lions are a good team. They're still a good team. Which, as I go back and watch the Lions play against us, and then the following week against the next week, they ran the ball a lot more than having Jared Goff throw the ball 55 times, which is interesting that they chose that route against us. I keep going back to pivot points. That was almost uncharacteristic of what the Lions did against us. 55 times when you got a potent running game with 2 good running backs? That's kind of weird. But the following week, they said, no, Jared Goff, you're not going to throw the ball 55 times. We're going to run the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So we got away with one, folks, because if you look at the game itself, when I went back and watched that game, we got away with it. And I'm happy we did. But that is not sustainable. That is not sustainable, folks. Let's be real. We got away with that one. And that was one of those big games, one of the big 7 that I said we got to win, right? One of those big 7 games we got to win. And we got one. But I also said we can't have no WTF games. And what did they do the following week after that? Against a Broncos team that with a rookie quarterback. We got shellacked at home. We got drugged at home. That was embarrassing. How you go from beating a top 10 team and then losing to a bottom 10 team? So what are the Bucs? Does anybody know what is the Bucs? What are they? What are they strength? What are they dominant in? What is it? As we watch this team, if you go back and watch the Commanders game, the Lions game, and the Broncos game, what are the Bucs dominant in? When you go into the game, when teams come into the game, when they look at the Bucs, they're like, "Oh man, we gotta stop X, Y, and Z." What are they dominant in? They're not dominant in the run game, and for the last 2 weeks, they're not dominant in the passing game. The O-line has given up 12 sacks in 2 weeks. The defensive line has only gotten 2 sacks. Granted, we've had injuries. The secondary is iffy, wishy-washy. I know when Tom Winfield Jr. come back, it's going to improve. The linebackers, Levante, they're doing this thing. But what are the Bucs dominant at? They're not dominant at tight end. They got Mike Evans. He's really good, but he hasn't done nothing for the last couple of weeks. Chris Godwin, you can spam him with screens, but What are the Bucs dominant at? They're not dominant in the trenches. They're not dominant at quarterback. What are the Bucs dominant in? I don't know. I mean, can anybody help me? What are the Bucs dominant in at this point? And as we wrap up the first quarter of the season, because we must come out this first quarter 3-1. Like, let's be real. The Bucs must come out this quarter 3-1. If they can come out this thing 3-1, that's a win. Because after the Eagles game, it don't get any harder. Falcons, Saints, 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens. It gets no easier, folks. It gets no easier. So it kind of got me thinking here, like, what now? Eagles team coming off of a pretty good win on the road. You know how hard it is to win on the road, folks? Especially going to New Orleans, a team that's been feeling themselves offensively. And for them to go in there with no A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith got concussed, and they come out of there with a 15-12 win in a hostile environment. We, as Bucs fans, know that going to the Superdome, and I've been there multiple times, that is one of the hardest places in the NFL to win a game. That is hard to win a game in New Orleans. So for the Eagles to go in there and do that and shut down Derek Lemon Carr, I got to get the Eagles a prop. So they're coming off a big win without a couple of their best players. Lane Johnson was sick. I think he got hurt or concussed, something like that. They still managed to win that game, and they ran the ball very well. They controlled the trenches. They gave Derek Carr fits. Jalen Carter was giving Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz fits. I'm just saying. So let's not take the Eagles lightly, because we've been successful against the Eagles now, and I understand that. We've been successful the last few years against the Eagles. They beat us last year, but we beat them in the playoffs, and then even before then, right? So I'm just curious on how Todd Bowles is going to prepare the Bucs after a letdown loss, a letdown game against the Broncos when the Bucs was flat from the first drive. I'm just saying. Now you got to go against a team on paper that's better than Broncos. Now the Broncos coach, Sean Payton, is way better than Nick Sirianni. But as a roster, the Eagles roster is better than the Broncos roster. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go from playing a bottom half team to a team that's at least top 15. So it's very curious that, I didn't like the body language of our team last Sunday or this past Sunday. It didn't look good. It's like it was like they were mentally drained from the Lions victory. They were still feeling themselves. But, it was like you could see them still like lethargically just kind of like moping around. The first drive, still can't score a touchdown. These are things that I was watching. I went back and watched. I'm watching the Eagles play the Saints. I'm trying to find these details going into the game. I love doing this. Going into the game, we don't know what's going to happen during the game, but going into the game, this game right here, I have some concerns. I do, because if you don't have concerns for this team, then I don't know what you're watching. I'm gonna need you to come sit next to me, and we can watch the game together. And you tell me where we don't have the concerns. I need you to help me explain. I need you to help me understand why you're not concerned about the Bucs in certain areas. Because from what I'm seeing, there's multiple concerns, and I just want to talk about it. I ain't trying to hate. I ain't trying to be negative and none of that stuff like that. We all see the same thing. And if you don't see it, help me see what you're seeing. Because if you don't see no concerns or any problems that are brewing, I'm not saying they're major problems, but they are concerns that can become major problems as we move forward. And if you believe that the Bucs don't have concerns, please in the comment section help me understand why you're not concerned about certain parts of the team. That you're not worried as a fan, like, I'm not tripping on that. It's gonna be okay. Because maybe we and you see, if you think that way, then that means me and you see football different. And I need to, I want to understand, how do you see the football game versus how I see it? Because if we sit down and watch all 22 together and I point out some things and you tell me that's not a big deal, then I need to figure out why do you believe that's not a big deal? Or why do you think that's not a concern? That's like basically saying, I know there's a problem, but it's not a big deal. Problems can become big deals. If you don't solve the problem, and this is just in general, this is any football team. If you don't fix something, it's going to become a problem as the season progresses. As the season progresses, if you don't fix these things are going to rear its ugly head against these other teams that's on the schedule starting this Sunday. And for the last 2 weeks, the Bucs offense has not done a good job, starting with Liam Cohen. We got outplayed by the Lions offensively. And then we got outplayed by the Broncos offensively. So I understand getting outplayed by the Lions offensively. Offense versus offense. The Lions offense outplayed the Bucs offense. Not even close. The following week, the Broncos offense outplayed the Bucs offense. And the Broncos offense is not even like that. So that's concern. Jim, what's up, Jim? Rashad West, what's up, man? Vinny. I'm just mobbing for Christ. I'm just trying to understand, how do we 2 weeks in a row, we're not playing super dominant defenses. Like the Broncos, I mean, the Lions defense is not a top tier, oh my gosh, Ravens, Chiefs defense, 49ers it's not a top tier defense. The Broncos defense is not a top tier. And the Bucs offense have struggled the last 2 weeks against those defenses. And now the Bucs offense got to go against an Eagles defense that, to me, is a lot better than what we've played already. Do not sleep on this. Do not overlook this like it's not a concern, because the concerns is already there. It's been 2 weeks in a row. How many games in a row things need to not happen for you to think that, oh, okay, it's a problem now? Because I don't want to hear this week 7, 8, 9, 10 talking about, oh, well, the Bucs got a problem. Well, I've been telling y'all this. You said, well, Denver ranked 27th in what? Talking about team rankings, or you talking about defense? Talking about the Broncos offense ranked 27th with a rookie quarterback. The Broncos offense outplayed the Bucs offense. So the Broncos offense ranked 27th in the NFL. Think about that, folks. How do you get outplayed by the 27th ranked offense? Numbers don't lie. The tape don't lie. Before the Broncos played the Bucs offensively, the Broncos didn't do anything. The Broncos offense did nothing prior to the Bucs game. Nothing of importance. The week before, did you see the Broncos offense the week before? It was terrible. It was terrible. It was a terrible offense. You can't tell me it wasn't terrible. I saw the game. I got all 22. I watched it. It's terrible. It was terrible before they played us. I'm just saying. This is black and white, folks, in color too. In color, you can see the Broncos offense was not good with Bo Nix before they played the Bucs. And all of a sudden, they get to the Bucs, and all of a sudden, it's oh my gosh. I'm just saying. I mean, we always bringing up numbers. The Bucs top 10, top 10 roster, top 10 GM, top 10 this, top 10 that. But then the minute I bring up a ranking from the other team, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's like, oh man, whatever, man. You can't have it both ways. You can't rah for the Bucs when the Bucs rank in the top 10 and something. And then when a team that the Bucs play and lose against, this team not really good. You say, well, it's because they was just ready for that game. No, man, you can't lose. You can't lose games like that. That's the bottom line. You can't lose games against the Broncos. If you want to be taken serious, if the Bucs want to be taken serious, you can't lose games against the Broncos. Bottom line. There is no excuse. And then you go into this game against a team that's pretty, obviously better players, better all-around roster, better GM. Now what's the excuse going to be? And see, this is the reason why I did not get super hyped, because last year the Bucs started out 3-1. People was running around beating their chest. I was not. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out these are facts, because you saw what I saw last week. So my question to you in the chat room is, who is coming into the game with momentum? Who is coming into the game, the Bucs or the Eagles, with confidence and ready to win? Because the Bucs coming off a bad loss to the Broncos. Remember now, the Bucs were ranked in the top 10 in team rankings in some areas. And the minute they lose to the Broncos, nobody talked about the Bucs. Nobody talked about the Bucs. As soon as the Bucs lost to the Broncos, it wasn't even a big deal. We went from top 10, like 8, 9-ish power rankings. Now we down to 15, 16, 17. Just where I thought we would be at. The Bucs are a middle of the pack team. The roster speaks for itself. That was a bad loss, no matter how you cut it. At home, you get blown out. Not a 26-24 game, 26-25, 26-23, 26-7. You get blown out. One touchdown. No matter how you cut this, when the Broncos was ready, and Sean Payton, you shouldn't have lost the game. Because if we would have won that game, you would be jumping around talking about 14-3, 13-4, 12-5. You would be jumping around doing that. You can't have it both ways. You can't justify bad losses because it don't fit your narrative or your record prediction. Because you picked this game as a W. Anybody that got the Bucs going 13-4, 14-3, 13-4, 12-5, I promise you picked this game, you picked last week's game as a dub. Do not try to justify a bad loss because you picked this as a W. All you running around here talking about double-digit wins, you had the Broncos as a W. And then they lose. Now it's justified like, well, the Broncos really wasn't bad like that. Oh, well, the Broncos got Sean Payton. They really like that. Okay. Yeah, don't give me that crap. Because now you're backtracking. Nah, keep the same energy. Don't switch it up. You had this as a dub. Remember what I told you. The Bucs cannot have WTF games, and they had one. This is one of them. I don't even know how many more games that we're going to have like this. We might have 2 more games like this. So now you got the Eagles coming in. Just like the Bucs wanted revenge against the Lions, and they played their hearts out defensively. Now the Eagles coming in a little banged up, but they still got their roster still good enough to win games. They beat the Saints in New Orleans. The Eagles got confidence that they can win without A.J. Brown. They proved that. Rizlo, what's up, man? Vincent, what's up? Ethan. There are concerns about this game. I'm not saying that is let's hit the panic button. All I'm trying to get you to understand as a football fan, to think clearly. Yeah, the Eagles lost to the Falcons, but you see how they lost, though? By 1 point. On the road. Actually, they should have won that game too, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. But the Eagles should be 3-0. Facts. They let Kirk Cousins go right down the field. Defensively, the Eagles defense, for whatever reason, they just let Kirk Cousins go right down the field. No matter how you cut this will not be an easy game for the Bucs. Because we thought the Broncos was going to be a dub, right? We can all agree that the Eagles are better than the Broncos, right? At this point. They're a better all-around team. We can all agree with that. Exactly, Vincent. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, the Eagles lost to the Falcons. The Eagles lost to the Falcons. Did you see how they lose? They a drop ball by Saquon Barkley. You skipped over that part. Hit him right, and Saquon Barkley got pretty good hands as a running back. You skipped over that part. Oh, well, the Eagles lost to the Falcons. Yeah, you see how they lost, man. Don't skip over things that's the obvious. The game of football is a matter of inches. One or two plays, maybe it's probably about 5 plays every game in most games that to decide the game. I'm just saying. So let's get down to the concerns. And you see my hashtag. Hashtag is what now? What now with this offensive line? What now with this defensive line? 2 sacks in 3 games? And I mean, I think the Eagles O-line, Lane Johnson most likely going to be out, probably going to be out, you know what I'm saying? And, AJ Brown probably not going to play because of the hamstring, whatever, with his, leg injury. And then Devontae Smith, concussion. I'm just saying. What now? What now about this offensive line? What now about this defensive line? I'm just saying, like, the trenches is where my concerns are. And these are concerns that I voiced before the season started. I was concerned about this trenches before the season started. And everything I talked about that I had concerns about is right here in our face. And I'm not tap dancing around it. I'm going to meet it head on. I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about the interior O-line. Yes, we're missing Luke Gadecki. So when he comes back, that should help. That will help, obviously. That will help. But even when he was in the game, the Bucs struggled to run the ball. And I'm going to keep banging my head on the desk and say, if the Bucs can't run the ball, they're screwed. If the Bucs can't run the ball, they're screwed. Because now you're putting all the pressure on Baker Mayfield to make consistent decisions for 60 minutes. And you see what happens when Baker Mayfield gets too much pressure? He tends to fold like a lawn chair. That's not Baker's game, man. He needs help. The passing game needs help because if the Bucs can't run the ball, now the Eagles going to say, well, we know y'all can't run the ball on us because we got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, and a few other. They like 8 deep on the D-line. Y'all can't run the ball on us. We ain't got to stack the line. We're just going to double cover Mike with We're going to have Darius Slay or Quinton Mitchell or Reed Blankenship over the top. Or see Charles Gardner Johnson over the top of Mike Evans. We're going to take him out the game, and you're going to spam us with Chris Godwin screens and bubble screens and jet sweeps and stuff, and Bucky Irvin jet sweeps. That ain't going to work. You know, and I know it. You know, as a Bucs fan, running jet sweeps with Bucky Irvin and spamming Chris Godwin screens is not going to cut it. You and I both know that. Let's keep it real. Bucky Irvin, Rashad White. That's our backfield. That's what we got. Hopefully, Bucky Irvin get more actual running plays like in the backfield versus the jet sweeps, because that's not going to cut it for full season. And we got to be careful with Bucky Irvin too. He's not a big guy. This is why I wish we had a better complement to Bucky Irvin than Rashad White. Like a Jonathan Taylor, a Breland Allen, the running back from Wisconsin, the rookie that the Jets picked up. That's pretty good. If we had a better complement to Bucky Irvin than Rashad White, because I'm over him. Just as some of you are over Cody Mulch, I'm over Rashad White. I'm over him, man. I'm washing my hands with that. I'm at the point where let's see Sean Tucker. Because as of right now, The Bucs are one-dimensional, and you cannot be one-dimensional in this league offensively. You got to have some resemblance of a running game. Look, Bucket Irving is about a little bit bigger than me. They line him up wide, and they put him in motion, running really fast, and they give him the ball like a jet sweep. Sometimes they put him in a shotgun next to Baker Mayfield to give him a draw play or some type of gadgety misdirection play. But that's not sustainable. I need to see Bucket Irving line up and run the ball. Because if you don't protect Baker Mayfield with a running game, he's going to get pummeled. He's going to get dog walked. Because of that, I don't trust the O-line. Yes, even with all-pro Tristan Wirfs, and he's been looking, I don't know if he got an injury, but, he's not looking like the Tristan Wirfs I know that he can play like. Maybe he's just going through something. I don't know. Because I've seen some plays, he kind of got beat. Nick Benito got him a couple times. I'm like, what? But see, these are things that I brought up about the Bucs O-line and D-line, and people kind of was like, oh, it's not a big deal. We'll be fine. And here we are, week 4, talking about the things I talked about before the season started. O-line, D-line. I've been banging my head on this for years. We give praise to Jason Light for making good draft picks, great draft picks, and I understand I'm with you. But, man, he's missed on some picks, man, on some areas. O-line in particular, trenches, in the interior, running back, tight end. Like, he's missed on some areas, and it's showing. And Tristan Wirfs is not playing like he usually plays. Jonathan Cooper, Nick Benito, a couple guys kind of got some a little bit. The speed was getting to him. Go watch the tape. The tape don't lie. I'm looking at Tristan Wirfs like, what? Then the Bucs try to run the ball on his side. It ain't going nowhere. Because I thought, everybody was like, oh, Liam Cohen is so much better than Dave Canales. Well, guess what? Dave Canales' offense with Andy Pew Dalton was offensively better than the Bucs and Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield. Let's call a spade a spade. As much as we trash Dave Canales, well, guess what? The Carolina Panthers offense will look a whole lot better than the Bucs offense, and there's no denying that. That's irrefutable. Irrefutable facts I'm hitting you with. The Panthers offense looked totally much more better than the Bucs offense. With the old Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. Dave Canales had him looking like a quality NFL starter. Meanwhile, Liam Cohen got Baker Mayfield looking like Daniel Jones. I mean, Dave Canales, snake oil Dave Canales, he's terrible. Well, well, the Panthers offense looked better than ours last week. But no, Will Mark 813. See, what you don't understand is I told y'all this. Just like last year, first year OC, you're going to have problems. And what are we having right now? Some issues that can be fixed as the season progresses. But I told y'all the Bucs offense going to go through this. No, Liam Cohen, man, you know what I'm saying? Liam Cohen, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? He's way better than Dave Canales. He's way better. Leaps and bounds better because of the Commanders game. The same damn thing we're going through this year. We went through last year with the first year OC. Oh, he coached Baker Mayfield for 5 games, so Baker Mayfield's familiar. And blah, 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 blah. How many times I got to tell y'all? I told you so. The same stuff that the Bucs are going through now, they went through last year with the first year OC. Oh, because, he's with Sean McVay. You know what I'm saying? He came from the Sean McVay tree. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield going to be like beast mode. Folks, when you got to understand football concepts. See, it's funny how when somebody like, I'm gonna use Dave Canales as an example. We laughed and we laughed and we laughed at him, which I agree. I'm with you on that, right? But the minute the Carolina Panthers did something good, it was crickets from the Bucs fans. When the Panthers displayed good offense last week, and I get it, it was against the Raiders, but it is what it is. But the Carolina Panthers offense last week looked more functional and looked way more better than the Bucs offense. Nobody said nothing. So is it you're waiting for Dave Canales' offense to look like crap? Then you're gonna say something? Because I remember last week, the first two games, I've seen people in the comment section talking about, oh, you seen the Panthers offense, they look terrible. Hey, Dave Canales, nah, 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 nah. But the minute they play good, crickets. I'm just saying, man, like it's too easy to point this out. It's too easy. Y'all giving me easy ammunition. Clack 5 white. So when you look at this game for the Bucs going against the Eagles, I don't like the defensive line. I know Vita should play, but that MCL injury is going to be a bugaboo. That MCL is going to be a bugaboo for a big man with a lot of weight. And I guarantee you, because I played with a leg injury before, you're never going to be 100% as long as you keep playing on it. We're not even talking about the totality or the outcome of the game. We're just talking about just moving on through the season with an MCL injury. That's not going to get better. They're going to put a brace on it. They're going to hit him with an injection shot, and he's going to play through some pain. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, Vita will never be 100% for the rest of the season. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. That MCL, people, do you understand MCL, PCL, ACL? When you injure those things as a big man, if you play any athletic sport, football, basketball, baseball, that hinders you. And Vita is 330 something pounds, 340 pounds. You know how much weight goes on that knee? Playing inside those trenches, you got people falling on your legs and all that stuff, man. He's gonna be nicked up the entire season. It's almost like I think the Bucs will be better off long term just resting Vita for another 2 or 3 or maybe 4 weeks. To be honest with you, I'm just keeping it real. I would, if anybody's nicked up, and I'm gonna look at the injury report in a second. I think people talking about it right now. So everybody that was out last week is not playing except for Luke Getke, right? So Winfield Jr. not playing, Vita's not playing, right? So I'm not looking at the injury report right now, but if you've seen the injury report, post it in the chat room. Who's playing and who's not playing from last week? And we're going to get to Kalaji Clancy in a second, but Vita should really sit out for a couple more weeks because MCL injuries is not cool. Okay, so Luke Gadecki is questionable and Vita's questionable. To be honest with you, I would sit Vita for the bigger picture long down the season. I'd rather have Vita more healthier against in a few weeks than to hurry up and play him rushing back. And Kalaji Clancy, look, folks, I don't know what's going on with that calf, but it's a concern. It's a concern, folks. The Kalaji Clancy, I told y'all this calf injury is bigger than what it is, man. And I don't know what the Bucs front office did. I don't know what they saw. I don't know. But apparently, that calf injury is worse than I thought. I'm just saying that calf injury, for whatever reason, whatever's going on with that calf, they're not telling us the truth. They didn't even put Kalaji Clancy on IR. He's going to miss 4 games. Like this Sunday is game number 4. They could have just put him on IR from the get-go. So now with this calf injury, it must be a tear. It must be a tear. He must got some weak tissue or some weak muscles in that calf because you out for 4 weeks. That's more than a strained calf. They're not telling us the truth about that calf injury. I mean, talented guy, but when you're not on the field, it's like we can't really gauge him. When he's on the field, we see what he can do, you know. But man, and that, like I said, big men, you need them legs, man. You got to generate, kinetic energy, power. I'm just saying, man, it's a concern, and they're not telling us the truth about them calves, about that right calf. It's the same one from last year. Was this in the draft report? Did they know about this before they drafted him? And then Winfield Jr., of course, he's not going to play. I wouldn't play him until he's 100%. And once again, even with Winfield Jr., that ankle injury, he's going to be bothered the entire season with that ankle. That ankle injury for Winfield Jr. is going to bother him the entire season. He's never going to be healthy. What did I tell y'all about the Bucs injuries? The Bucs are not deep enough as a roster to sustain high level play with injuries. If the Bucs are healthy across the board, the Bucs can win a lot of games. But with injuries, when you add injuries, and this is across the league, not just the Bucs, but just across the league. If you are a really good team, you can sustain injuries if you got a good roster. The problem is with the Bucs have a top-heavy roster. It is far from a top 10 roster. To be honest with you, I don't even think it's a top 15 roster. Just the entire roster. Now, if you just say the starting 22, yeah, top 15, I would say that, right? Maybe like 15, 14-ish. But when you go from player 1 to 53, they're not top 15. Y'all seeing it right now. Y'all seeing it right now, the depth that the Bucs got on the D-line. Why is Marquise Watts not playing? Jose Ramirez not playing? Can anybody explain that? Bucs Life, all caps. What's up, man? Big Buck, what's up, man? Hey, man, what you doing this Sunday, man? We can watch the game. But yeah, like I'm saying, y'all seeing it right now for yourself that the Bucs roster can't sustain high-level play because we don't have the depth. I gotta be real with y'all about that D-line. From what I see on tape, it's a bunch of Jags. As of right now, it's been Anthony Nelson and William Golson, man. For real, man. It's like, what are we doing with those two? Why we can't play Marquise Watts and Jose Ramirez? Younger guys, better to me. Can anybody explain that? Why is nobody talking about that? That Bucs D-line is not good. 2 sacks? Two sacks? What are we doing here? Oh, the Bucs D-line will be fine. Well, they're not. I'm not sold on the Bucs D-line. And I'm not trying to be negative. It's on tape. It's right there in front of you. Look at the Bucs D-line. It's not good. And what did I tell y'all before the season start? As we watch this game this Sunday, if the Bucs can't get pressure on Jalen Hurts, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't. It's gonna be. It is if we can't get pressure on Jalen Hurts, it's gonna be an ugly day. Even with AJ Brown being out or Devontae Smith not playing. Folks, we can't afford these injuries as fans. As the Bucs can't afford. They're not talented enough as a roster, and particularly in the trenches. They're not talented enough. They're not talented enough to overcome injuries with Winfield Jr. and Luka Decky and Kalijah Clancy. They're not talented enough. The guys behind them are not talented enough. Not good enough. And, Winfield Jr. being out. Yeah, Chris Nyson's, but he's 5'7", 5'8", safety. Nobody's worried about that. So now with the guys being hurt, except for Luka Decky, what do the Bucs do? Do the Bucs play coverage with no AJ Brown being questionable? What Devontae Smith? Like, do Jamel Dean play 15 yards off the ball and let another receiver just catch balls all day? Do Todd Bowles blitz, or does he play coverage like he did against the Lions and let the Eagles go up and down the field between the 20s, but don't give up no points, no touchdowns in the red zone? That might be the best option. That might be the best option for the Bucs, because if they blitz, they're going to get shredded. Because I understand the reason why the Bucs might blitz, because they can't get no pressure with just 4 guys rushing or 5. How about you do what Brian Flores did? Just keep rushing 5 guys. The problem is, I think even if Todd Bowles do that, it's just a talent deficit. If Todd Bowles just say, we're going to keep rushing 5 every time, regardless of what down, we're going to play 2 high, 4 high, 3 high, fire zone, fire dog blitz with, 4 guys rushing with a 5th guy coming in. If you keep doing that, I don't think the Bucs are talented enough to hold up even if they rush 5. Because see Brian Flores with the Vikings, he's rushing 5 every down, and he's blitzing every second down. He's forcing you to check the ball down to the flats, right or left. Go watch the tape. 2 deep, 3 deep, 4 deep, every single time. And he disguises those coverages so well. This is Brian Flores. He made C.J. Stroud and Brock Purdy look like boo-boo. I mean, why not just rush 5? Do what Brian Flores did. Force the Eagles offensive line to block the Bucs one-on-one. And even if you do that, what player on the Bucs can win one-on-one on the D-line against the Philly O-line? Can anybody tell me that? What Bucs pass rusher can win a one-on-one matchup? I like Yaya Diaby, but he's a bull rush rip guy. That's it. Watch the tape. He got no spin moves. He got no speed to power. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, I like Yaya Diaby, but he's stuck. He's stuck in a rut right now as far as his moves. And I think teams know that now. They know that he can't really do anything outside of just overpower you. Because I'm watching Yaya Diaby on tape, and every time he rushes, it's like he's trying to overpower the right tackle. And I'm like, well, maybe go to the left side sometimes and rush over there. Sometimes I don't even know why they don't rush Yaya Diaby sometimes in the inside, like they do with Micah Parsons. Just sometimes put Yaya Diaby with those guards. Get him moving around a little bit. Because every time I watch Yaya Diaby, and I like I said, I like Yaya Diaby. He just needs some more moves. This next offseason, he needs to develop some spin moves, some swim moves, some push-pull moves, not try to bogart your way in every time. He just try to bogart his way every time. And then his only move is the inside rip. It's like he might need to lighten up a little bit with his weight to move around, because he's kind of stiff. Yaya Diaby's kind of stiff. Go watch the tape. He's kind of stiff. He's stiff in the hips. Hip dip. He kind of stiff in the hips. He not a lot of wiggle in those hips with Yaya Diaby. He's long, he's big, he's powerful. Yaya Diaby will be a really good 5 technique because he's long and he's big. He has a big frame. He's not super fast and super athletic and super wiggly. He'll be a really good 5 technique. But as a 3-4 outside guy, he needs more wiggle. And I'm just telling you what I see. Now, I might be wrong about Yabi. Does anybody see something different? Because, I mean, he's a little stiff. Strong as an ox, but you just can't overpower everybody in the NFL because a lot of those right tackles are strong. He needs to lighten up when he might be a little bit too big. You know, then Anthony Nelson. I mean, William Golson. We've seen enough of him. We know what he about. The Bucs. We got to stop the run, man. Forget that. Get to the quarterback, man. I'm just voicing concerns about the Bucs going against the Eagles. As far as the outcome of this game, as far as winning the game, the Bucs can win the game. Sure, they can win the game, but a lot of things got to go right. Y'all know this, and I know this. Because you can get pressure on the quarterback, and that's fine. But you got to convert those to sacks. But y'all get pressure sometimes. Yeah, that's cool. How many sacks he got? Our leading sack person is Joe Tryon-Stoinka with 1.5. Go play some of other guys like CJ Brewer or what's the other guy? Number 74. What's his last name? I can't think of his name right now, but play some of these other guys, man. We need some pass rushers, man. The Bucs gotta do something, man. And as far as the O-line, I'm staying on these trenches, folks, because it's not good. That tape is not good, folks, on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And I got to stay on that. Yeah, Brown. There you go, Brown. Play them more. Let's see what they can do. I don't want to see William Golson out there. I don't want to see. I want to see Jose Ramirez. I want to see Marquise Watts. Marquise Watts is like the size of Nick Benito. But the Broncos playing Nick Benito. He getting playing time as a small pass rusher. But he really like that, though. He nice, though. But he got some dog. And see, and I think somebody mentioned that, man. Where is our aggressive guy, man? Like on the D line, man. Where is our you not stopping me type dude? Like, no, where's the Dexter Lawrence at? Where's the Simmons, Jeffrey Simmons at? The Williams kids, the Deron Paynes and the Jonathan Allens and the, Kenny Clarks and stuff, the Chris Jones and George Kalafkis. Where's our guys at, man? Where's the guys on the D line? The Nick Benito, the Jonathan Coopers, the Brian Brownings, the DeMarcus Lawrences. You feel me? The Brian Burns, the Kayvon Thibodeau, the Myles Garretts, the Darius Smiths, the Ed Olivers, right? The Gregory Russos, the Jalen Phillips, the Jarrett Verses, the Braden Fisk, the Brian Young, the other guy, Kobe Turner. I can keep going with these lines. All the Travis Jones. I can go all day. The BJ Ojolari. The Bucs can trade for him. The Giants second year D lineman that plays behind Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. Go trade for BJ Ojolari. He's getting sacks as a backup. Young, fast, twitchy. Where's our Jonathan Grenard? Or Harold Landry? Where's our guys at? The mean guys, Josh Allen's, the mean guys. Where's our guy? If you look at the Bucs D line, where is our guy? The Keon White, the Christian Barmore. Where's our guys, man? The Max Crosby's. I mean, like 30 D linemen. I haven't named one Bucs D lineman yet. And I'm being nice. I'm concerned about our trenches. We need some mean guys with some background. The Jalen Carter, man. The Ed Oliver. The Big Bang Hank. The Patriots got two of them, Keon White and Christian Barmore. The Ravens got Travis Jones. Oh, I got to bring this up. Y'all know I always do this every year. Remember that guy, Marshawn Nealon, I was telling y'all about in the draft this past season? I talked about him in the Senior Bowl and all that stuff leading up to the draft. And I was like, oh, Marshawn Nealon is there, but the Cowboys got him. Well. You put on that tape. I watched him yesterday. Marshawn Nealon, yeah. Did you watch Marshawn Nealon? Got a little wiggle to him, don't he? Getting in there a little bit. Gotta getting in there. Let me repeat. Go look at Marshawn Nealon, folks. I banged the desk about talking. I talked about him. Marshawn Nealon. I talked about him. The Cowboys got him, and it looked like they got another dude on that D line that can get to the quarterback. He's fast. He's twitchy. Meanwhile, we sitting here with Logan Hall, and I mean, come on, man. Look, I hope Chris Braswell turns out well. I hope he does, because we need him to turn up. But I see a couple of defensive linemen that's rookies that's doing pretty good. The Brayton Fisk, the Jared Verse, the Marshawn Nealon. Those guys look pretty good, and they rookies. Brayton Fisk looks really good. I talked about him too. Like, I do this every year, folks. I always keep my eye on guys that the Bucs, they probably maybe looked at or maybe could have gotten, could have, should have, would have. But I always talk about these guys, and I'm like, well, the Bucs didn't get him. They got this guy. Cool. Let's see what the guy do. And then as the season progressed, I'm looking at the Bucs who they drafted, and then I'm looking at, well, they maybe could have. Well, okay, here we go again. The third year in a row. I'm doing this the third year in a row. Isaiah Likely, I was right on him too. It's not hard, folks. It's not hard to spot talented dudes, man. Yes, I was right on Isaiah Likely. I know I was right on him too. I was right on Travis Jones too. And look, I might be right on Marshawn Nealon too. I talked about these guys. The Clark Brooks. The guy from Bowling Green. He's at Green Bay. I'm just concerned about the Bucs trenches in this game, man. I am, man. And as far as the Bucs offense, man, as a general, the Baker Mayfield has been sacked 12 times. I think it was like 26 or 36% of his dropbacks. He's been sacked. I think it's 26%. That's not good. And the Bucs got one of the worst run games in the NFL. Once again, I thought Liam Cohen was supposed to make this thing work. As a matter of fact, the Sean McVay Kyle Shanahan tree had a bad weekend last week. The only one I think that won was Kevin O'Connell. But that was more about Brian Flores. I mean, Liam Cohen lost. Clint Kubiak, he lost. The Saints OC. Zach Robinson, the Falcons OC. Kyle Shanahan lost. Oh yeah, my bad. Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell were the only two to win. Everybody out of that McVay Shanahan tree lost except for Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell. Sean McVay, with half of his starters injured, he has more injuries than the Bucs, and he still beat a top-tier team. That's coaching. You think Todd Bowles can do that? If you say Todd Bowles, half of your starters are hurt, can you beat the 49ers? Sean McVay can coach. That's the problem I have with Todd Bowles. Got me nervous, man. I am nervous of this game. I am going to say that as a fan because the Bucs got injuries, and I talked about this. The Bucs cannot afford injuries, and what happened? This has been a really bad first quarter of the season for the Bucs as far as injuries. Luckily, the Bucs are 2-1 instead of 1-2. And it's about to get raw and uncut for the next several weeks. Do you understand this, Bucs fans? We're gonna have some. It's gonna be some games where we're just gonna be like, they just not good enough. I mean, I will be astonished. The Bucs just win all these games. I mean, beat the Eagles, beat the Saints on the road, beat the Falcons on the road, beat the Saints on the road, beat the Ravens, beat the Chiefs, beat the 49ers. I will be astonished. Now, is it possible that the Bucs can win all these games? Yes. Especially for you 13-4, 12-5 Bucs fans predictions. You better hope they win these games, because if they don't, I'm going to be on you. I'm going to be patient, though. I'm going to give you a chance. You know, I'm not going to rag on you right now because the Bucs can still go 12-5, 13-4. But I'm telling you right now, if they don't get their act together, your prediction will be done in a couple weeks. And I'm going to be looking at you. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to look at you like, so what happened? And I don't want to hear no excuses. Because if you give me excuses, I'm going to eject you from the chat room. Because you went out there on the limb. You wanted the Bucs to win 13, 14 games with no real football thought process. Straight fan thought process. I'm not going to rag on you right now. The Bucs are 2-1. But the Bucs, for them to go 13-4 and 12-5, they got to win a lot of these games, folks. I mean, I'm talking about the ones coming up. Think about this, folks. Losing 4 or 5 games out of 17 games, that is hard to do. Meaning, this stretch of the next 7 games, you better hope the Bucs go 5-2. 6-1. Now, here's the question to you. What is the probability of the Bucs going 5-2, 6-1 these next 7 games? What is the probability? Remember, probability over possibility. Is it possible that the Bucs can go 5-2, 6-1 these next 7 games? Yes. The possibility is there. Anything is possible. Kevin Garnett. Anything possible? Yes. Absolutely, the Bucs can go 5-2, 6-1. What's the probability? What's the probability when you factor in the injuries, the first-year OC, the Todd Bowles syndrome, no running game? What is the probability? What is the possibility? What is the probability that the Bucs go 5-2, 6-1 in these next 7 games? Because you just lost to the Broncos. You had to win that game. You had to win that game to go 13-4, 12-5. For the Bucs to go 5-2, 6-1 these next 7 games, that means everything has to go the Bucs' way. I mean, everything. Ball bouncing, drop balls from the other team, bad coaching from the other teams, injuries from the other teams. Everything has to go in the Bucs' favor for the Bucs to go 6-1, 6-1, and 5-2 these next 7 games. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. The probability is low. The probability is low, folks. It's just the truth. Facts over feelings. And right now, the Bucs offense is not looking good. That is an irrefutable fact. What good can you say about the Bucs offense these last 2 weeks? Baker Mayfield scrambling around. How sustainable is that? Baker Mayfield think he Lamar Jackson instead of throwing the ball. Even Todd Bowles said some of the sacks are not on the O-line. You want to know why Baker Mayfield is feeling himself? Because he thinks he's more than what he really is. Middle of the road, mediocre quarterback. He think he's freaking Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. I'm going to run around. I'm going to deuce people. I'm going to juke them. I'm going to take the ankles from him and all this. I'm going to avoid sacks. Every time he get pressure, what does he do? He think he can just escape sacks. You can't keep doing that, Baker Mayfield. Throw the freaking ball. The ball is there. What's the problem? You mean to tell me after your first read, you freak out and you think you can just wiggle away from sacks all the time? Teams are already locked in. You know what the Broncos did last week? They knew that. A lot of the Baker Mayfield scrambles came from up the middle. And what did the Broncos do? Oh, no. That ain't going to work. They brought heat up the middle. The Broncos shut that scrambling on Baker Mayfield with the scrambling around, shaking big. The Broncos shut that down. And there was a couple plays that Baker Mayfield tried to do it. Took his eyes from down the field and looking at the pass rush, thought he can wiggle himself out of there in the middle of the pass rush. No, sack. Go watch the game. Go watch the game, folks. I saw Baker Mayfield drop back, look, and say, oh, shoot, the throw is not there. Try to tuck the ball and run or wiggle his way out of a sack. The Broncos wasn't having that. The jig is up. Vance Joseph was like, nah, fam, you ain't really like that. Eat these sacks. In the minute that Baker Mayfield tried to improvise, he threw an interception and got trigger shy for the rest of the game. Go watch the game, folks. For the rest of the game, he got trigger shy. He threw that one interception. And everything else was check down, check down, check down. You don't think the Eagles going to do that? You don't think the Eagles going to say, you're not beating us with Mike Evans. You're going to beat us with Chris Godwin and Bucky Irvin check downs and jet sweeps and tunnel screens and bubble screens. You're not getting no big plays. Come on, man. The Bucs offense got to tighten up, and that's on Liam Cohen. I ain't going to blame Baker Mayfield all the way. I'm not going to do that. But Liam Cohen got to tighten up because a lot of y'all jumped up and down about Liam Cohen. You didn't do your research. I told y'all this. You can't run this college offense and think it's going to be sustainable when you don't have a running game. I think we will have one if he gave Bucky Irvin the ball more. But splitting these carries, we gotta feed Rachaad White to stroke his ego. Forget that. Give the ball to goddamn Bucky Irvin. What up, King Cook? I want more Bucky Irvin right now. I am tired of Rachaad White. Bucky Irvin got over 100 yards already. Rachaad White ain't even at 50. The Bucs got one of the worst running games in the NFL. Rachaad White is one of the worst starting running backs in the NFL. That's a fact. And they keep trotting him out there. If he's not catching the ball, what good is he? Because he doesn't offer anything in the run game. I want to see Bucky Irvin in the running back position, not lined up wide, in motion, running these jet sweeps. That's not sustainable. This ain't college, Liam Cohen. You can't spam jet sweeps or these gimmicky run plays. You can't do that. Y'all didn't do y'all research on Liam Cohen? I did. Go watch the tape. He's running the offense that he ran in Kentucky. The jet sweeps and the tunnel screens with Chris Godwin, the quick Chris Godwin throws. Chris Godwin's going to be the Cooper Kupp. Not even close. Teams don't mind Baker Mayfield spamming Chris Godwin. They don't care. But see, the way the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan offense works, it is never receiver number one dependent. It's very slot driven. Go look at the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan tree. It doesn't need a number one receiver, but the Bucs got one, and Mike Evans and Liam Cohen don't even know what to do with him. Liam Cohen don't know what to do with Mike Evans. And the sad part about it is a lot of Mike Evans' yards have to be over 15 yards. Liam Cohen don't know what to do with Mike Evans. How are you going to have a top-tier receiver and you can't even give him the ball? You can't have that much respect to Patrick Surtain. You got to say, my guy is better. But see, Liam Cohen's so stuck on this Cooper Kupp role. Chris Godwin's going to play the Cooper Kupp role. Well, what about Mike Evans, man? Mike Evans is on pace to not even get 700 yards. How your best receiver only get 2 catches? Yeah, Chris Godwin's gonna play the Cooper Kupp role, so you're gonna spam Chris Godwin like Sean McVay spams Cooper Kupp, and Cooper Kupp can't even stay healthy now. He already hurt. Him and Puka Nacua, because the Sean McVay offense requires so much from the slot guy. And you're going to get Chris Godwin hurt trying to spam Chris Godwin all day long. See, the jig is up. Mike Evans can eat. It's just Liam Cohen got to adjust his offense. You got to get him involved because we all know Mike Evans. When he don't get the ball, that body language get real bad. He get the moping around. They throw him a quick 5-yard hitch or slant. He gets tackled. He gets up. He go right to the sideline. Anybody notice that? The reason why Mike Evans has had longevity because he don't take a lot of big hits because a lot of his plays are 15 yards, 20 yards down the field. But the minute you put Mike Evans in position to catch those 7-yard routes, 5-yard routes, 7-yard slants, that's why you don't see Mike Evans. You don't see Mike Evans running a lot of route trees. Mike Evans is deep ball, deep post, deep sideline routes. Not like his route tree is very limited for whatever reason. And plus his separation is not great. That's why when he runs those low, that's why they don't run wide receiver screens with him. Where you going with Mike Evans is a wide receiver screen or a quick slant. He's not the type of receiver. If you notice, if he gets tackled, it's like he's hurt. Like, yeah, and you got 2 young guys, Jalen Millen. My gosh, are you going to use him? He had a great training camp, and now he's like, he's like, what's going on? Trey Palmer just fell out of the freaking rotation. I don't know what happened to Trey Palmer. Cade Otton, what are we doing with it? I'm done with Cade Otton. Rachaad White, Cade Otton, I'm done with them too. See, this game, as far as the Bucs defense, I think they're going to play well to a certain degree because of the system. But they're gonna have their hiccups, man. Special teams, Jake Cremata. I don't know what's going on with him, but at least we got a good field goal kicker. He got himself together. KJ Britt needs to play less. Zion McCullough, keep doing what you do, baby boy. I see you, my boy. Zion McCullough, I see you, boy. All that improvement you made, I see you, my boy. Winfield Jr., Herbin, get back, man. We need you, fam. We need you, Winfield Jr., on that back end. Agent Smith, Tyke Smith, he's playing pretty well. You know, Vita, we need you back at some point. Luke Gadecki, hopefully he plays this Sunday. Questionable, but he should play. Because Justin Skoll? Oh, no. Anyway, here's my prediction. Oh, yes, Savassi Dennis. I need him to play more, too. But here's my prediction. Bucs host the Eagles this Sunday. Then we got the Falcons at Thursday night. I got the Bucs with the dub. Yeah, I said it. Sue me. Despite all the trouble and the question marks, the Eagles got problems too. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they got injuries too. Lane Johnson. The Bucs are at home, and I don't think they're gonna do a back-to-back terrible showing at home. In a pivotal game for the Bucs to end this first quarter 3-1. I got the Bucs winning. I got the Bucs winning 20-17. In a low-scoring game, defensive-driven, Baker Mayfield makes enough plays. Enough plays on offense. They get a couple turnovers. Jalen Hurts turns the ball over. I got the Bucs winning 20-17. Struggle, but the Bucs will win and go to 3-1. And then we got the Falcons Thursday night. And the Bucs must come out this game healthy. Because this is going to be a physical game, folks. So if anybody's nicked up, I don't know, because you got a game Thursday. You might want to sit them out. I think the Eagles, I know they beat the Saints on the road in a tough defensive game, but I don't see them doing that back-to-back. What's your prediction for this Sunday? I got the Bucs moving to 3-1, winning 20-17 in a tight game. Baker Mayfield makes one more play than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts turned his ball over 2 times. Todd Bowles barely outcoaches Nick Sirianni. And we come out with the dub, and we 3-1. Thursday night, Atlanta Falcons. On the road. Back-to-back road games. Saints and the Falcons and Saints. Let's get it, folks. Oh, you negative, Buckles Locker. I got the Bucs winning. But you still negative. Oh, you negative. I mean, yeah, he did pick the Bucs to win, but I mean, damn, man, he just negative, man. He just negative, man. Goofballs. Goofy. I mean, yeah, he got the Bucs winning the division, man, but he just negative, man. Shut up, you goofy. You don't like the truth? Go somewhere else. Bucs got a terrible running game, terrible in the trenches. That's all facts, irrefutable. Liam Cohen struggling. That's a fact. That's irrefutable. I don't care how you feel. It's just still early in the season. You know, they'll get it together. I know that, but as of right now, they're struggling. That's a fact. It's irrefutable. The run game terrible, irrefutable. Bucs offense not playing well, irrefutable. O-line not playing well, irrefutable. Bucs pass rush not getting to the quarterback, 2 sacks, irrefutable. Facts over feelings will always win. Anyway, Shouts out all the Pirates of Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining an episode of Buckles Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and share all the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. With that being said, fire those cannons. Seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag what now? Hashtag why? Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag trenches matter. Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't talk about it. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag truth hurts. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag oh you negative. Buckles Locker signing out. Enjoy y'all weekend. I will see y'all Sunday. I'm out. Deuces.